This is WWE Wrestling Legend Hall of Famer Tito Santana.
This is WWE NXT Superstar Lexis King.
And you are listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast. Arriba!
And you're listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast. Long live Lexis King.
What's up, crusters? This is the heavy metalweight mosh pit coming straight out of the Providence Underground, and you're listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast.
You're looking at the best there
Austin
is.
316.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
We will rest in peace.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. This is episode 46 of the Source WWE AEW All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe
and
Mike. Yeah. And today we are going to talk to you like we always do. We're going to drop some gospel on you once again. Another edition, guys, of This Week in Wrestling. And I know I've been saying this every week now, but I just can't help it. It has been another crazy week in wrestling. Lately, all the booking has been really, really good. I cannot say it enough how thankful I am to be a wrestling fan in these times. This is the Source Wrestling Podcast. It's Joe and Mike. We're going to get right into this. This week in wrestling, we're going to start with Smackdown 621
Smack it down.
In the home of the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk. But before we start the show, guys, I'm going to hand this over to Mike in a minute, but we just want to acknowledge here that the wrestling world has lost a legend. Yesterday, we lost Sika Anoa'i from the Wild Samoans. Legend in the world of professional wrestling and father of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So we send our condolences to the Anoa'i family.
Condolences.
And the Wild Samoans had an amazing run back in the day. Rest in peace, Sika. We acknowledge him in just a second of silence in acknowledgement. Okay, Mike. It's on you, man. Welcome to Smackdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Smackdown 6/21/24.
We are there.
Here is your breakdown. We start off with CM Punk coming out in his hometown.
Oh, yeah.
Looking great in his hometown
Huge
gear.
reception.
Right?
Huge.
Comes down to the ring. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, he's talking about Drew McIntyre and, you know, why he's done what he's done to Drew McIntyre, because look what Drew has done to Punk, and he's obsessed with him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, you know, cue Paul Heyman now.
Calls him a quitter, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, because at that point he had quit, you know, and he really meant that, apparently, for a day.
Well,
just kidding.
Kayfabe, or maybe just some kind of tactic by him or something like that.
Yeah, so Punk wasn't expecting him. You know, which happens later.
Exactly.
Yeesh.
So the wise man comes out, and basically it's like a big plea to like save him. Kinda.
Yeah, please,
he's like,
take me with
he's like,
you.
Listen, Solo's focused on you right now.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Here's the deal. Take me with you.
Yeah, and he did also take me with you, please.
Take me with you. He's like, what do you want me to do, Harry? He's like, take me with you, please.
Did not expect him to say that.
I did.
I mean,
the
you
way
know he's feeling it. You know he's been feeling it.
But CM Punk did not take him with him.
No, and Paul also, you know, made it known that he told the Bloodline and he told Solo that CM Punk's off limits because the, you know, the amount of respect that the wise man has for Punk as well. So,
that
you
is
know,
fact.
he was safe until he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes down, you know, to Paul Heyman coming down, you know, basically trying to, what he's doing, he's warning CM Punk about Solo and the boys.
Trying to save him.
And how bad it is right now. And then, you know, out comes Solo.
Yeah, Solo comes out and does not really appreciate the fact that Paul Heyman said he was off limits, so on and so forth. And, you know, that's something that we're going to be seeing down the line. I think when Punk's ready, it's going to turn into, you know, him trying to save Paul Heyman, maybe, from this Bloodline 2.0. You know, that would kind of be cool.
I just came up with a weird take.
Go.
Weird take.
The Weird Take Podcast.
What you say is true somehow. CM Punk is trying to protect Heyman all by himself.
Yep.
Who comes to help him out? Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
And that's the new Bloodline
Yes.
faction.
Yeah.
Roman, CM Punk,
Wow.
and the Usos.
Now
Imagine
you see what
that.
happens when you smoke a little bit of weed, guys,
Yep.
and you
Currently.
talk a little bit of wrestling.
By the way.
Yep, he's I gotta do something right here with this. Hang on, guys, stand by. But so if that is a dream type match situation, right there,
Facts.
you gotta say. But yeah, that closes that segment, and we move on to women's Money in the Bank qualifier, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
It's a women's, like you said, Money in the Bank qualifying match with Chelsea Green versus Michin versus Bianca Belair, and
Triple
what a
threat
treat!
style.
You know,
It
first and
was.
foremost, that these triple threat matches that we'll be covering on this Raw Smackdown. Sorry,
On the Smackdown.
almost going. Brain keeps going to Raw. Why
It
does
does.
it keep going to Raw? You
Yeah.
think because
Oh my
CM
God.
Punk's on Raw?
Yes.
Like a lot of Raw people on this episode. You'll
They
see.
are.
So
They are. They're just going freely. They're traveling freely.
yeah, it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, Bianca hits Michin with the KOD.
Yeah. You think it's her match to win at that point?
Yeah, but Chelsea throws Bianca to the outside. Chelsea goes for the cover, gets the pin, winner,
Steals
Chelsea
the
Green.
show. Chelsea
So
Green
watch out
is
for her.
going to the Money in the Bank match, and I think she has a great chance of winning that. And she said on a podcast or a few interviews that she wants to take that. She said it a while ago. She manifested this. She goes, eventually I'm going to get that Money in the Bank briefcase. It's going to be pink. You know what I mean? It's going to, it's going to be all Chelsea greened out, and
For
it
me,
is very possible.
As a wrestling fan, the winner has to be Chelsea Green, or it has to be
Tiffany
Stratton.
Those two
Because
are the
those
only
two
winners I
Money in
will
the-
accept.
Yeah, those two Money in the Bank runs are going to be fucking entertaining.
Absolutely.
Like literally,
Absolutely.
like watching Chelsea Green
do her whole Karen stuff and
with the Money in the Bank,
Oh my
bedazzling it all with
Yep.
all the things that she
bunch
does,
of failed cash-ins.
or
I can see
Tiffany
it now.
Stratton with her pink Money in the Bank,
Yes.
and looming it over people's heads.
On the
being
last
sneaky.
episode, I was the one who wanted Tiffany Stratton's my pick, so she has a qualifying match.
Damn right.
and
She does.
we'll see what happens
I
because that
think it'll
has not
be-
happened yet.
I don't know, because also, it seems that Damage Control made a statement that they want to get back to form. They're trying
Yes.
to get
Yes.
back to the
and
top.
we'll talk about that
and
later. Yeah.
and honestly, like, I could see maybe that coming into play with this as well. What if Io Sky wins the Money in the Bank
Yep,
again?
she's in the
Two-time.
match. Yeah, right. She's done it before.
Two-time.
She can do it again. It's very, very possible.
And then the tag team championships go to. Are they like writing off Asuka? Asuka. I call her Asuka, but you can call her Asuka if you want.
Well, the thing about Asuka is that she's injured right now.
Asuka,
and
barely
she-
even know her.
And she, yeah. She's written off TV for a while because she's, nowhere near ready or cleared. But
Is
yeah,
that what's going on?
that is what's going on. She's injured. She posted a photo on the socials there of like her leg in this brace, and you know what I mean. So you're
How
not gonna-
could she even be? Where did she get injured?
No idea. No clue. I really don't know. But that is going to be interesting to see if Damage Control
That's
can
interesting.
come back and do that. But that's a whole different argument there.
We're having fun.
Yes.
We're having fun.
But
All right.
we see
so-
Punk again.
Yeah, well now here we go. There's a new development here. All of a sudden it goes to the garage
It's like the
door,
parking garage
and the
overhead
garage
door.
door is up to the
Yep.
loading zone, and
Yep.
there stands McIntyre over CM Punk's
His
bloodied
lifeless
face and
corpse.
mouth and his corpse, basically.
He's
He
destroyed.
proceeds to pick him up and put him on his shoulders
Like a
and carry him. You carry him all the way
Yeah.
through Gorilla, right to the entranceway, and dropped him right at the entrance. And then,
Like, here you go, Chicago.
and then
There's your
basically,
hero, man.
they took him off in an ambulance, and
It's not looking good for
yada,
Phil Brooks
yada,
right now.
yada.
Yeah, man.
So-
we hope CM Punk is alive.
Yeah, obviously this is more, in the end, going to make CM Punk look like even more of a badass somehow. Got
Oh,
the shit
definitely
beat
to
out
come
of
back
him,
from
and
that.
then-
You know what I
Yep,
mean? And
it's
screw
true.
Drew again somehow, which we all know that he will. It's definitely coming.
It's true.
But that's another conversation for another day as well. We have to let that progress. Up next, what do we have?
Up next, we have a men's Money in the Bank match.
What a good
We
one
have
it was.
Randy Orton,
The Viper.
Tama Tonga,
Yeah.
and Carmelo Hayes.
AKA
Instantly,
him.
as I'm going in this match, I'm like, hell yeah, Randy's getting this win.
Oh, yeah, all day. You think
like,
that.
this
you
is
know what I mean?
great.
Yep.
I can see Randy cashing in Money in the Bank, whatever.
All day.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool scenario.
Yeah.
But the winner
he ran into a problem called him.
by a roll-up.
Yeah, he rolled him up clean right from behind him.
A roll-up pin for the 1, 2, 3 for Carmelo Hayes.
Yes, Mitb.
He's going on to the
He is.
Money in
Yes.
the Bank.
He has a shot at the briefcase, and just the thought of him with the briefcase scares me.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
as I was
because-
saying, he wasn't doing much weeks ago when Andy was in here. I was saying, oh, he's not doing much. And then all of a
Here we
sudden,
go.
he's just been killing it.
Yeah, you know,
So-
we had to give it time. We had
I
to give it time
think
to
they're
progress.
listening over at WWE.
Yeah,
Creative.
you know,
I
that
think
would be
they
cool.
Could use a Mike and a Joe
Absolutely.
over at their show.
We
Because we
are-
got some theories.
we
and
are
I'm not talking
available.
Austin theories either over here. Nope.
Nah. This is not an episode of the Grayson Waller
No.
Effect. This is the
My
Source
name is
podcast.
not Grayson, and his name is not Waller.
No.
That's all I can say.
Nah.
So-
speaking of nah,
Speaking of Nana, we got LA Knight,
the megastar.
Santos Escobar, and Logan Paul having a little bit of a skirm. A little
What
bit of a-
happened was-
of a tornado together.
LA Knight comes out, calling out Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
No theme music, nowhere to be found. So LA Knight's just trashing Logan on the mic, and out comes Santos Escobar. He interrupts him. You don't interrupt the megastar, man.
No.
Nah. He interrupts him, and you know they're going back and forth because LA Knight's like, oh, I've already beaten you before, but if that's what I got to do again, I will. You know, because LA Knight's looking towards the Money in the Bank, and he's got the qualifier, you know, coming up and all that, and they're going back and forth, jibber jabber, and then Logan Paul shows up out of nowhere in his Logan Paul fashion,
Yep.
and takes out both LA Knight and Santos Escobar. So
Santos Escobar needs to go away.
yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't see him in a title picture. LA
Like, we
Knight,
finally
this is his match.
I think what they're doing is they've been toying around with us with LA Knight for a while now.
Yeah.
Giving him a title shot, him losing, and now
Exactly.
he gets this title shot, and they're like, "Oh, let's throw Santos Escobar in the mix."
Yeah,
and
let's
just totally
he can just
confuse
annoy
the fans.
Yeah, he can
You know
just
what I
annoy
mean?
the fan base and LA
Now
Knight.
we're like, damn it, we thought he was going to have a nice, clean shot. Now Santos is in the picture, and you know
Right.
it's going to end up in a three-way match
Yep.
now. What the heck?
And, you know, I mean, LA Knight will get screwed somehow. I figure.
I
you
hope
know.
not, because I'm really
It's his
hoping.
time. It's his time for that
but
championship.
Also, I just don't see Logan Paul. I've said this. I don't
see him dropping the title.
Logan Paul dropping the title.
I do, and I think he's
What's
fine.
the
without
U.S. title record for consecutive
I don't.
days?
I don't know. You know,
Because
he's-
that could be the next record.
he
they're
does
going
have the
for.
longest title reign in the WWE right now. Ever
Because-
since Roman
Well,
dropped
I know
the title.
that. I know that.
He does have the longest title reign right now. The amount of days I am not sure of. But Logan Paul, I believe he won that United States Championship off Rey Mysterio, the GOAT. Yeah, and he has had this United States Championship now for 200 plus days. I mean, it's no Gunther reign, obviously, but it's getting there, and it's the longest one running in the WWE right now.
Absolutely.
you know.
He's the only one with a real shot right now to break any records.
Right.
I don't know if
And I see him
totally
dropping
buy
anyway.
Cody. Well, the way he wrestles now and then, and like he's built to do a long run. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of runs get ended due to injury. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a lot of runs you're riding it. Like Seth Rollins. Like, come on. Like
Right,
I
I know.
could have gone 6 more months with that.
He did it
Like,
till the
he
wheel
was-
fell off.
He was just getting started. I feel like I didn't even see him face enough people that
and
excited me. You know
but
what I
he
mean? Like,
defended that title all the time, which was
he
great.
really did defend it all the time, but he didn't have a lot of epic title matches like a Rollins versus Cody for the title,
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
epic. You know what I
Whoops.
mean? It was
Sorry,
like him
guys.
against Damian Priest.
Yeah.
You know, him against, not we love him, but him against LA Knight. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
feel you.
Him
I
against
feel you.
Gunther once, I think. No, did he get a shot?
I'm trying to go back. I don't know. The weed doesn't help.
Who did he defend the title against?
Rollins?
Yeah.
God, I
Who
feel like
AJ
everybody.
Styles?
I feel like
Like,
he did.
I
I feel
forget,
like
like-
he had that title so long. He defended it against everybody. Guys like Drew McIntyre and There were many. God, I would have to literally sit here and look it up for Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship defenses. But he defended that thing week in and week out. All over Monday Night Raw and, PLEs and all that. And, shout out Seth Rollins' inaugural championship reign.
Yeah, and he lost to Drew McIntyre.
At
1, 2,
WrestleMania.
3.
Yep,
Like,
he
lost
did.
to him. So I feel like Drew can at least say that.
Yeah, he's got that, but he only had it for 5 minutes, 30-something seconds, whatever.
And
the,
let's just say that,
number is.
he defended his Universal Championship 53 times in 166 weeks.
Seth Rollins when he was
Yep.
Universal Champion?
But he has now exceeded that total with 57 defenses of the World Heavyweight
see, I
Championship.
told you, he defended
in
that
just
thing
over
everywhere.
31 weeks.
Yeah, that's wild.
So he defended the Universal title 53 times. Roman Reigns, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said that right, but if I did, I'm sorry, guys, but we're just rolling with it. Roman Reigns had the WWE Universal Championship. He defended it 53 times in 166 weeks.
That's wild.
53 times in 166 weeks, compared to Seth Rollins' 57 times in 31.
Yeah, that's a lot of title defenses either way.
That's why
You know what I mean?
Seth Rollins is getting surgery.
Yeah.
And, Roman Reigns is probably on a beach somewhere
Absolutely.
living his damn life,
Absolutely.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
We
got
have
another qualifier coming up.
Yeah, we have a men's Money in the Bank qualifier. Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. Oh, we talked about this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, next one.
We're all over the place today. This is crazy. Kevin Owens versus Andrade versus Grayson Waller.
Yes.
Grayson Waller runs into the ring, and Andrade hits him with the message.
Yeah, they were scuffling outside of the ring. Waller jumps in, runs right into the message. by
Goes for the
Andrade.
cover, gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Andrade moves on to the Money
He's
in the
going.
Bank. It's going to be crazy.
The speed champion
Yeah, the
that
speed
you don't see.
champion that we have to watch X to see. So check it
Yep.
out.
Or don't.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. So last up, we have the main event. This is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. I'm feeling pretty cool about it. It's a pretty cool matchup that we haven't really seen. But it's Cody, and what happens? Basically, you see
what happens?
There's a DQ. Okay, let's just put it that way. Cody wins via DQ.
He does.
You see Bloodline members, run out. They get equalized, right?
Right.
And then they
brand
have
new
Solo
reinforcement.
Yeah, they have Solo backed into the corner. He looks scared.
Not looking good.
He looks like he's really worried and scared in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Then all of a sudden, he just starts smiling.
Yep.
He just starts
knows
smiling,
what's
and
about
at that
to
point, I
happen.
knew what was going on.
Yep.
I'm like, we're about to see another member,
Yep.
or we're about to see Roman Reigns. There's
Exactly,
two ways
one or
this
the
goes.
other.
And lo and behold, there he is,
Samoan
the
werewolf.
Samoan freaking werewolf.
Unbelievable.
Jacob Fatu.
And what a
Hops
monster.
in the ring,
What a monster.
annihilates everyone in a fashion that I've never
Literally.
seen before,
Literally.
and then does the biggest high-flying jump off the
Off
ropes
the top rope, through the
onto
commentator's table.
Cody Rhodes and breaks
Broken
2 of
ribs.
his ribs.
Broken ribs. The guy
Wow.
is in a wild animal.
Yeah.
You're talking about the longest reigning MLW heavyweight champion in history. This is Jacob Fatu.
AEW has their werewolf, MJF, our boy, but this werewolf, holy
Yes.
crap.
Yeah,
We each got our
MJF
own werewolf
doesn't,
now, it looks
doesn't
like.
claim to be a werewolf. He's just the wolf of wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing, though.
Yeah,
Wolf, werewolf, they're the same
tomato,
thing.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got their wolf thing, we got our wolf thing.
Right.
I say we like I'm part of WWE.
Well, we should be. At this point, the amount of time we invest into it, we should be working for the company. Guys, hit us up. We're available. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that. We are moving on, though, guys, on the Source Wrestling Podcast. We are moving on to AEW Collision 6/22/24, action-packed night full of matches, so we're just going to keep it moving. We start off with Samoa Joe, Hook, and the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata versus the Premier Athletes, and by submission, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata get the win. You love to see Hook out there in a winning situation. we all love the cold-hearted, handsome devil Hook, and Samoa Joe, a little bit of help. Shibata, a little bit of help.
Ciabatta bread.
Ciabatta bread. Yes. Up next, though, guys. Hi, guys. Thanks, guys. It's the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, and the Redwood Big Bill, accompanied by Bad Apple Brian Keith now, versus Private Party. And Cassidy of Private Party is distracted at one point, and the ref had his back turned, gets nailed with brass knuckles. Jericho covers Cassidy, gets the win. The Learning Tree with the victory over Private Party. And it's, once again, thanks, guys. Hey, guys. That's going to continue, and to me, it's been pretty entertaining. Next, we had a Continental Championship Eliminator. It is CMLL's Ultimo Guerrero versus the Rainmaker, the champion, Kazuchika Okada, and he did Okada. Not a matter for him. He gets a pinfall victory with the Rainmaker.
These
He's
new
growing
guys are
on
never
me.
going to lose. These new guys are never going to lose.
Especially like Will Ospreay and. When do you see an L in their column?
Never.
We
haven't yet.
Okada with the Rainmaker gets the win. We have not yet. That is correct. Next up, we have the Patriarchy. Happy Father's Day, everybody. It's Christian Cage, Kill Switch, and Nick Wayne versus the Iron Savages, Bronson and Boulder, and Jack Jameson. Cage is tagged in and grabs Bronson and drops him with the Kill Switch. Christian, obviously, once he hits that Kill Switch move, it is over. He gets the win here by pinfall. Your winners are the Patriarchy. Up next was a very entertaining one here. AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm, Timeless Toni Storm, and her best friend, Mariah May, versus Legit Layla Hirsch and Lady Frost. Storm takes care of business here with help from Mariah May. Hits the Storm Zero, gets the pinfall victory. It's AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm and Mariah May with the victory here. Now we have a House of Black sighting, guys, and that's always an exciting thing to see these guys come out there and do their thing. By pinfall, it's the House of Black's Malachi Black and Brody King with a double team LSG to spike them on the opponent's head for the victory. Now we have more CMLL talent. It is Hechicero, who is going to be wrestling. Hechicero. He's going to be wrestling MJF at Forbidden Door. So that's going to be exciting.
That's all I'm good here for, folks. Is just
MJF
noises in the background.
You know what I mean? That's like me during NXT. I'm just like, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I like that, dude. And I love Saul Ruka, so we'll say that. CMLL's Hechicero versus Daddy Magic Matt Menard. Hechicero looking strong, gets a submission victory here, heading into his match with Maxwell Jacob Friedman at Forbidden Door, which I can't wait for. Your winner by submission is Hechicero. A lot of cool stuff on this episode of Collision, guys, here. This is why I continue to watch AEW.
Especially the names.
The names are so great. It's like having WCW back again. It's a beautiful thing,
WWE
guys.
has such normal names. And then
I know. But then we have Hechicero.
Hechicero.
Or, Penta El Zero Miero, who I love, I hope his contract expires and he goes right to WWE.
Who's that?
Penta El Zero from AEW.
Is he the guy with the mask?
Yes, the figure you sent me the other day.
The
Supreme
skeleton guy.
Yes, the
he
Supreme.
Looks like Skeletor kind of.
Yes,
I like it.
Penta El Zero.
I've never seen him fight.
He is awesome.
Maybe a couple times.
He is awesome,
but
dude.
Started
out in tag teams and eventually got his.
He can work the mic too,
shine.
right?
Yeah, I mean he talks a little bit, but he's a luchador. You know what I mean? He lets his in-ring work do all the talking. And shout out Penta, really, really dope wrestler who I hope comes to WWE. But the main event of Collision, guys, was your match of the night. It is AEW International Champion Will Ospreay defending against the Machine Brian Cage. Hell of a match. Brian Cage is jacked. He is ready to go. He really gave Ospreay a test here in this title match. But, Ospreay is, like we just said, he's not losing right now, especially on Collision or Dynamite. He is not losing at all going into this match, this war with Swerve at Forbidden Door, for all the gold. So
all the gold.
Yeah, so Will Ospreay finds a way and takes out this animal, Brian Cage, the Machine, they call him, with the hidden blade, gets it done 1, 2, 3, and still international champion and, rolling his way into Forbidden Door against Swerve Strickland. It's the Aerial Assassin, guys. It's Will Ospreay. Boom. That's your collision. That was a great episode.
Boom, 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 bang,
You know
boom.
what I mean? Get hit with some lefts and rights, and we're on to the next show. We got to talk about Monday Night Raw.
We have to.
Everyone's buzzing about it. We've had some time to let it sink in, and we're gonna get right to it on Source Wrestling Podcast. What an epic episode of Monday Night Raw! I feel like they just keep getting better and better. And what better way to start off Monday Night Raw than with a Drew McIntyre appearance? Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
He has some explaining to do.
Absolutely. I'm glad that we're doing this after doing. It's like awesome that we're doing SmackDown and Raw. We're gonna keep doing it this way.
Yeah, I like it this way.
Yeah, we're doing SmackDown and Raw. You're getting the first of the story, and you're getting the last, and you're getting. Also getting Wyatt 6-6 updates on this one. So let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, you are. Let's get it. It's Drew McIntyre. He's there to address his attack on CM Punk. And what else is he going to say? He prayed for this, which he says again. And obviously he did. He says, you guys don't have to worry about CM Punk now. This is it. He's over. He's done. He shows off his bracelet, his little friendship bracelet, the Larry and AJ one that he's now wearing. And he says he's going to, continue to have that on him. And Drew McIntyre is in full rage mode, taking care of business when it comes to CM Punk. We hope to see CM Punk back soon, though, because Drew is obsessed still with destroying him.
And how could he not be?
Yeah, after everything Punk's done, Glasgow and God, the list goes on.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you want to be on CM Punk's side, he's got a point.
He does. He does. Punk has been doing some shit.
Mm-hmm. But first up, we got this great match.
Yes, we
Braun
do.
Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. It's cool to see. I like this point where you start to see Braun Breaker in believable matches where he's not just hitting a spear and getting it's like
Kaiser is a tough
It's an
opponent.
actual back and forth fight. You know what I'm saying? Which is great. Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser, back and forth. Great matchup the whole time.
Yes.
Braun Breaker hitting his spots, doing his Frankensteiner perfect after he botched it last week or whatever.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he missed the top ropes on one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a video out there. Check it out.
That's great.
He didn't hit the top rope and just kind of falls down with what's his name? Sheamus. It was Sheamus.
And speaking of Sheamus, he's the one who gets involved. He
does.
He attacks Ludwig Kaiser. For this ongoing story.
The kick. It was a kick. And
it was that brogue kick, and it was not looking good for Ludwig. He gets the win here by DQ against Braun Breaker. So that's Braun Breaker's first loss, I would say, right?
That's true.
Yes.
That is Braun Breaker's first loss, but it's by disqualification.
So he didn't get pinned. He still looks strong. I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean? It still builds the monster.
It does.
As one would say.
It does.
Yep.
And then we move on. We go to another, here's another great one. Another Money in the Bank qualifying match. Another triple threat match. They're going with these three-way dances, guys. And it's been absolutely awesome. It's Lyra Valkyria versus Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. And this match had no business being this good. I can honestly say this match was more than I expected to see out of it. All three competitors really put everything on the table for that match. And it's winner by pinfall, Lyra Valkyria, with that Night Wish, or is it the Night Wish or the Night Wing? One of the two.
I believe it's the Night Wish.
Night Wish. She gets it done. Valkyria is moving on to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Before we move to the next match, though, guys, we got to talk about a little bit of drama. And it's been our favorite drama lately. It is Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. At one point, we're in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and it looks like Liv just sent Dom nudes. Okay, over the phone, and he's showing the
or
phone.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely an explicit message. Okay, and he shows it to Carlito, and they were playing actually WWE 2K at the time, and then they stopped playing. They look at the phone, and Carlito's just like wide-eyed as fuck, and he's just like, that's cool. So, I would assume it had to be some kind of picture from Liv or whatever. But this storyline is cooking. Liv Morgan has been a thorn in Dominic's side in the absence of Rhea Ripley. The thing is, we're expected to see Rhea, hopefully by SummerSlam. But, with how hot this is right now with Liv and Dom, I don't see why Liv doesn't drop the title for a little while, Mike. You know what I mean? I feel like Liv is that on it right now with this Dominic drama, and she's just getting so involved, and I feel like they can really keep it going with the two of them for a while. Maybe Dom caves eventually, and Rhea comes back and she's like, "Dom, you're dead." You know what I mean?
And he probably will be once
Absolutely.
Rhea Ripley comes back.
Oh, poor Dom.
See how that all plays out. Obviously, it feels like it's looming now. So will it be SummerSlam? Will it not? I don't know.
We don't know.
We'll see. Next Money in the Bank qualifying match is a triple threat match.
Loving these three ways,
Braun
man.
Strowman, Big Bronson Reed versus
yeah.
Chad Gable,
who died last week
and
and
honestly,
came back to
he
life.
comes back into the venue at the beginning with security around him. They
Heavily
checked
guarded.
him out by medical, cleared him, and
he was cleared.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because if you got a blow in the head that like hitting the head so hard that it
could be severely
you'd have
concussed.
a concussion, you would not be wrestling this week.
Absolutely.
But anyways,
Absolutely.
Chad Gable wins it.
He does. Top rope moonsault, hits Bronson Reed with it. He's moving on, and he's in his celebration moment at this time, and his opponents leave the ring, and then everything just goes black, and we know right away this is Wyatt 6 stuff. Ring is smoked out. Everything, the fireflies are out.
It's happening.
The music's playing. That ominous one piano note over and over and over. And there is Sister Abigail, a.k.a. Nikki Cross. And she crawls in the ring with Chad Gable, and Chad Gable reluctantly backs up and gets the hell out of there before anything else can happen to him. And then, Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross, has a box that she presents. She then presents Michael Cole with a box and leaves through the crowd, which this box contains an old VHS tape. For those of you who listen who don't know what VHS is, Michael Cole had to explain it for the young audience. And, we see on this VHS tape a segment that rocked me. Like, this whole thing, like, we got to talk about it. This is Wyatt 6 time right now on the Source. This is, it's like a therapy session between Uncle Howdy.
Yep.
And Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda.
Sitting across from each other in a dark room.
Yes, which happens to be the Firefly Fun House.
It's true.
And already...
Uncle Howdy has a very distorted voice.
He does, yeah. Things are going in and out of distortion. And he's basically asking, himself, Taylor Rotunda, how things been since the loss, he says. And that was already like, whoa, okay, you're pushing the envelope here, guys. With this is a very sensitive subject. And then he goes, how did you feel after your brother died? And it was just like, whoa, dude, rocked. I literally said, oh my God, like out loud. I was like, wow, they're really going here right now. And what a well done segment. It reminds me of the Fiend segments where he would talk to the therapist. And that's why I kind of have this notion that they might bring out, not the Uncle Howdy version of Taylor Rotunda, but a Fiend, like the new Fiend 2.0 type deal. I feel
that could be kind of cool.
I feel like they're gonna turn him into a fiend. He's gonna be a fiend because whenever the Bray Wyatt would do those same therapy scenes, the Fiend was soon to come. We all know that Bray designed that last Fiend costume that never got used in real life. This could be time to bring out that actual Fiend character and use none other than Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda to do it. And honestly, whichever direction they go, I'm cool with it. They're doing great with this. Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a very deep segment.
It was.
I think it was very personal. A lot of things you said that were very surprising.
Must have been hard for Taylor
to go so
to
personal with it was surprising to me. It really was. But it was cool. It was a great segment. I loved it. I'm upset because I wanted to see more of them in action.
Oh, me
this
too.
Week.
Yeah, but they gotta hype it.
Yeah, I wanted to see them all come out to the ring, get a good look at them.
Yeah, I like that they're doing this. We did need a backstory, a little bit on what's going on here, and this is the first time since he. Came back as Uncle Howdy that we're seeing his face again without the mask.
So are we basically supposed to be under the assumption in kayfabe that Uncle Howdy is not Bo Dallas?
No, I mean we all know. We all know
who's playing him.
Yes,
but we're not supposed to know kind of thing. It's supposed to be two different people.
That's what I'm saying. Or okay. I feel like they're two different personalities. Like Bray had multiple personalities. You know what I mean? You have Taylor Rotunda. You have Bo Dallas. Bro Dallas. You have Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas, and now Uncle Howdy. So I feel like this Uncle Howdy can be used when he needs to be used. But if he wants to go to this place, he can be this new fiend, or and I feel like Uncle Howdy's just the conductor now. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I feel like that it could go either way. But I think it would be really cool to see a new type of fiend, and I feel like that's what they're going for here with the therapy sessions. That's how the fiend came to be the first time, and this is just so cool.
It really is.
They're doing his legacy right. They're doing it gently.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Next.
Moving on.
Non-title match.
Yeah, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance.
Yes,
Chance. The after party, I believe they call themselves.
And they're a great team. But tonight was not the night. We had
I think their move's called the keg stand, too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is the keg stand. It's like that double team move that they have. Yeah, it looks sick, too. Although it was a non-title match, titles wouldn't have changed hands anyway. But Dawn hit a gory bomb leg sweep combo with Alba Fire as well. It was like a double team move, Russian leg sweep type gory bomb type thing. Wins the match with it, but that celebration soon is to be interrupted by Damage Control.
Of course,
they are out there. It's Dakota Kai. It's
they say they want to be back on top.
Yeah, man. They're trying to declare their spot. Ever since losing Asuka, as Mike would say. And, so Damage Control is out there, making sure their name is known for the tag team title race, yada, yada, yada. They're back in action, folks, in the tag team running. Now we hear from World Heavyweight Champion, though, Damian Priest. And this was quite the promo because, he was not advertised, but Rollins comes out. He was there. Not on the bill that I saw, and Rollins is trying to make another crazy deal with Damian Priest, where if he loses, he has to leave the Judgment Day, and the kind of shocking but not shocking response there was Damian Priest like, okay, well I don't, they need me way more than I need them. So that's
true.
That tells you right there the waves that Damian Priest was on, and it just builds. This segment, it was really good, and it just builds for their upcoming match. For the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank, and Seth Rollins is so over. He is so back. The crowd is out of control for him. It's great to see him back so soon. It's been 3 months, I think. Yeah, 3 months or so since WrestleMania. So it's good to see him back and in the running for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. I can't wait for him to take the title back.
Oh, my God.
I want it to happen. I hope it happens.
We need
What's
it to happen. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. After that, we get a match. This is the Final Testament's Karrion Kross versus Kofi Kingston and of the New Day. Karrion Kross is looking to beat another former WWE champion. He says he has listed quite a few that he's already defeated. He wants to add Kofi to that list. And thanks to an on-screen distraction from Paul Ellering and the rest of the Final Testament backstage, AOP, all those guys who are beating on Xavier Woods. So that obviously takes Kofi's attention off of the match. He's thinking about his guy, you know what I mean? And Karrion Kross hits that final prayer and ends up with a victory here through that distraction. Karrion Kross does just that, and he adds another former WWE champion to his list of people he's defeated. and it's still kind of really hard for him to get a reaction from the crowd. How are you going to put?
Yeah,
how are you going to put Karrion Kross out there?
Want to know what's weird about
that?
it to me is that they're the coolest faction there is,
they
man.
Are cool, man.
And I don't know why the fans aren't reacting to it, because I would.
I know.
If I was there, I'd be freaking reacting to that.
He's on some
I don't know why they don't like him
right now.
He is on some Jake. He's doing some great work.
He is. I mess with him. I really
He'd
do.
be top in AEW right now. That
definitely.
faction, that whole group, they would be top in AEW right now.
Imagine the Final Testament versus the House of Black. You know what I mean? Just imagine that, guys, for a second.
Like WWE needs to do something like trigger the crowd to just give them a bigger response or something.
I agree. But needless to say, Kross gets the win here with the final prayer. And now this sets up our main event match, and we're going to talk for a second about how this main event match came to be. It's more Liv Morgan drama, who convinced R-Truth to defend the tag team championships when Miz wasn't around and he was on commentary. And she convinced R-Truth to give the Judgment Day a tag team championship match. And unfortunately, guys, the Awesome Truth is no longer the WWE World Tag Team Champions. J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor, student and teacher, win the Tag Team Championships from the Awesome Truth, thanks to the person who got him into this mess to begin with, Liv Morgan, coming out with another distraction. And just, R-Truth, he doesn't know what to do, and, it's over. He gets pinned, hit with the coup de grace.
That's it.
Finn Balor wins the titles back to the Judgment Day first.
With his protege.
So
it's the teacher and the protege with the tag team champion, the raw, good-looking championships.
Absolutely.
And the Judgment Day now, without even, just as we're feeling like, this Judgment Day title run's about to come to close. They don't have any tag titles anymore. Damian Priest looks like to drop it soon.
Guess what? They just
Guess
won
what?
again.
They are now the biggest faction in the game. The
Absolutely.
Judgment Day. They have the tag
most
team
gold.
Yeah, they have the most gold. And I'm sure once Rhea Ripley comes back, that'll be even better. But I'm hearing rumors all over online that she's going to be returning, and she's going to be returning, kicking people out of the faction and adding somebody. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be really, really cool. Guys, so that's what happened in this main event World Tag Team Championship match. Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough. Congrats, guys. They are the new World Tag Team Champions, and I see them having a decent little run with those titles for sure. But that is going to end that segment, guys. It's been a pleasure rocking with y'all. It's the Source Wrestling Podcast. We're excited for what's happening on NXT. We are excited for what's going to happen on Dynamite. We are excited for Forbidden Door. There are so many good events that are coming up, and, this is another edition of This Week in Wrestling with the Source Wrestling Podcast. And we are going to move on to some Battle Royal open discussion type Q&A type deal here. So stick with us, guys. We're going to that, and it's happening now.
So it was a great matchup between MJF and Roosh.
It was.
The Horns.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
But what's next? For
next?
MJF? Who's he going to be sniffing around next? He mentioned a bunch of names, but who's the next sniffer?
Yeah,
who's he sniffing with?
I think, obviously he's got to deal with Hechicero at Forbidden Door right now. But after that, I think he could come sniffing for Will Ospreay in that international title.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
even though
the
he came
big
out to
rivalry,
save him,
you know what I mean?
I feel like it could be
Hechicero as
no.
it's another one and done warm up.
That's an end game.
And then what's the big rival? Who's the big rival?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say let's say it's Will Ospreay next. Because he did throw some jabs at him, but Ospreay did come out to save him recently as well. So you're not sure, you don't know. But yeah, if it were up to me, I would say let's have MJF and Will Ospreay tear it down real quick and see what kind of reaction that gets. Maybe at All In, in Wembley, in the home of Will Ospreay. That's pretty big.
Huge, honestly. Yeah, I mean Ospreay versus MJF.
Who wouldn't want to see
MJF
that?
was our favorite forever, but how does he wrestle Ospreay?
Yeah.
Is he as good as Ospreay?
I mean,
is he as good of a
he's
wrestler?
a whole different style of wrestler. MJF is a technician. He's the throwback. He's, a guy who's not going to do all that flippy stuff. to get over, but two different styles clashing. I think it's a brawler versus a high flyer. You know what I mean? I think it would complement off of each other very well.
Absolutely.
So I don't know who they're going to put MJF up against next, obviously. But if it were my choice, it would be Will Ospreay. You got one?
Personally, I'd like to see MJF battle Swerve and take the title, but that's a topic for later.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd say, I would love to see MJF and rival with Swerve. I would like to see that rivalry.
Would be cool. That would definitely be a good one.
That's the one I think that should be the end game.
And he took shots at him already, so.
Yeah. It's true.
He sent shots at everybody.
Regardless, champion or no champion, I just would love to see them face off. I've never seen it. Has it happened?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I'm sure it has in the past. I don't know if it has officially in AEW. At the moment, at this second in my life, I don't know if it happened.
I'd like to see it steered to that direction.
Oh yeah,
that's where I'd like it.
That would be cool too.
But moving on to the next question I have.
Can't complain about that one.
We're gonna go with. Who wins this matchup, Joe? Damian Priest or Seth Rollins? Is it a trap for us? Is Damian Priest going to win this one? Or are they going to give us what we want? Are they going to give us more Rollins?
WWE has been really good about giving us what we want. I have faith in the WWE, and as long as Rollins is ready to go and this isn't a one-off, I'm saying he's going to stomp his way back into raising that championship.
I hope so.
It's going to be Seth Rollins. That's what I'm going. That's where I'm going with it.
I'm going to vote Damian Priest.
And the thing is, if he retains, I won't be surprised.
I think the only reason why I think it might be Damian Priest is because this would legitimize his title run. Because he did the Money in the Bank win.
Yeah.
And now he's going back and he's beating the guy who was champ fair and square or whatever.
Exactly.
However, probably not fair and square. But,
he's just getting it done.
Yeah, I'd say they need this for Damian Priest more than they need it for Rollins.
Absolutely.
Rollins get another shot at it at some point and get it.
God, yeah.
Whatever.
Of course he can.
But this would elevate Damian Priest to the next level.
Big time.
Go right to his head, too,
Big time. Oh, God, yeah. And he'll probably be leaving the Judgment Day and, El Campeon forever. Please change his theme song, though, guys. It's terrible.
It really is.
I think it's Def Rebel. They've been getting a lot of shit about their shitty theme songs where they just throw somebody saying their name like over and over again. And, it's really, really bad. Jim Johnston, where are you? We need you. You were the soundtrack of our generation. These new groups they have making music sometimes is not a hit. It's a big miss.
It's so true. Next up, we're going to talk about when is it going to happen? When is CM Punk going to face Drew McIntyre? When are we going to see? Is it going to be SummerSlam?
Boy.
Is it going to be later than that? Has CM Punk been cleared yet? Is he cleared?
It's hush.
Is he injured now after that attack?
Right. I mean, we don't know. It's hush right now when it comes to CM Punk. We did know before this vicious attack by Drew McIntyre that he was going to see a doctor to be cleared. That's why he missed Raw, and showed up on SmackDown. And we don't know if he's officially cleared. We don't know if he's okay after this heinous attack from Drew McIntyre. But if it were up to me, I would have this match as the SummerSlam main event. No holds barred, just a war. That is where I'm at.
I think this point in the game, SummerSlam's looming. It's
is.
Literally like a month away or so. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't think it happens at SummerSlam. I think it happens at Bad Blood. There's a lot of
what better pay-per-view
about Bad Blood right now and bringing it back and that they're going to do it. They're bringing it back. So, I mean, what a better Bad Blood matchup than that matchup. I think it has to happen then if it happens. If Bad Blood is happening, I can guarantee you this is the match.
Oh, that would be the match. It'd
be cool if one of them had a title. But,
yes,
we'll take what we can get in these scenarios.
Yeah,
they need good non-title rivalries, and I'd say this is the top of the top right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have SummerSlam. Mike's got Bad Blood if it happens.
Yep.
And
it's happening. They're going to fight at some point.
No, yeah.
Bad Blood.
Bad
happens.
Blood.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So next question is, what's next for the Wyatt 6?
Oh man, I could talk about this forever. This has been very interesting and entertaining to me. After, we just talked about it a little while ago, the whole therapy segment there. I really think, I honestly and truly think that next, I think you're going to see a Wyatt 6 member in the ring with Gable, or, getting intertwined in something with Gable very soon. We've seen the seeds planted. They keep sending Abby the Witch, Sister Abigail, to do the bidding. And I feel like Gable is going to end up in a match with them soon. But with the whole therapy segment and all that, I feel like it could really be possible to use Taylor Rotunda, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, as a new type of Fiend. The last version of the Fiend that Bray Wyatt had designed and never got to use. I think it can happen. He wore a mask, as the Fiend.
So you're seeing as kind of a thing where,
He's
Uncle Howdy's the conductor,
yes,
and then there's different personalities that he comes out.
Yes, exactly. Just like Bray, you know what I mean? Even, the Wyatt Six, they're all different personalities of Bray for the most part. But yes, I feel like he can be Uncle Howdy, and that's a whole different character. He can be Taylor Rotunda, or the Fiend, the new Fiend 2.0, whatever he's going to call himself. I don't think it's going to be Bo Dallas anymore. I think it's going to be Taylor Rotunda, or, Taylor Wyatt, whatever, some kind of tribute to Bray is what I see. Either way, I think he can be himself. He can be this Fiend, and he can also be Uncle Howdy when Uncle Howdy is needed as well.
Yes, he can. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see Uncle Howdy fight. Had he ever been in a match before?
He had gotten involved in a few Bray Wyatt matches, like the Pitch Black match.
I know that, but was he ever sanctioned in a match?
No, I don't
exactly.
believe so.
I've never seen him
Yeah.
So it's kind of
that's
foreign.
what makes me think that he can just be this conductor from the dark side, and that Taylor Rotunda plays, but he can actually
that'd be cool
himself
because when
now,
they actually wrestle, it kind of takes away from the aura of the character.
It does
a little bit, you know what I mean? Because then they become a
yes.
real person all of a sudden.
Exactly, they
Like,
feel pain and they have to
exactly,
sell
yeah.
stuff. I mean, unless you're 1992 Undertaker, you don't have to sell anything.
It did that for the Fiend. The Fiend got beat.
Yeah, he
so
did.
therefore, it's like, oh wait,
He's human.
like he is. You know what I mean? Like he can be beaten. That's what I mean. So
exactly. It could be tough, but I love everything they're doing with the Wyatt Six right now. I think Bray is up there proud as hell of all of this, and it must have been really, really hard for his brother Taylor to get through that therapy segment with Uncle Howdy, as Uncle Howdy talking to himself. What a performance this guy is cooking. Everything about the Wyatt Six is cooking. I need the T-shirt
everything about the
immediately.
Wyatt Six is sick.
Literally. Right? You see what he did there, guys? Yeah, man. So I think,
can't wait for the figures.
Oh, God, yeah. Just take my money. We need Wyatt Six figures.
Can't wait for the WWE 2K24 patch.
Oh, yes. The patch actually comes out today, guys.
No, I'm saying they add a Wyatt 6
Oh, God,
patch,
yeah. I wish. But the one I'm talking about that actually comes out today is the Post Malone and Friends pack. You can get a playable version of Post Malone. You can also get Marsh and Thrasher of the Headbangers. You get Sensational Sherry. You get the Honky Tonk Man. You get all of that as long as you get the the WrestleMania edition, which Mike and I are professional WWE players. You know what I mean? We had to buy the WrestleMania edition.
Absolutely.
And it has paid off dividends because now we're getting My Faction cards of all these great DLCs and all that. But yeah, guys, today, if you were not aware, you can go download the Post Malone and Friends pack for WWE 2K24.
It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick. So,
yes.
Anyways, we have coming up next, we have a little discussion about Hikuleo and Zilla Fatu.
Yes.
Have both been signed. Well, I know that Hikuleo has. I don't know about Zilla if he's been signed yet, but there's a lot of rumors saying he's going to be.
There are.
How do they fit into this Bloodline saga? Right now, we know that we have Solo, the Tonga brothers, and we have Jacob Fatu. That we know for sure.
Absolutely.
We have no idea who their opposition is going to be. And we have no idea how Hikuleo and possibly Zilla Fatu fit into this equation.
Right, but they're going to have to at some point.
Think that I believe from the research that I've done on this, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right. It's Hikuleo, Hikuleo.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it as well.
But apparently he was with the Tonga brothers in the other league he was in.
Yep.
So he was kind of with them, and also he was part of Bullet Club.
Yeah,
so therefore you could see him
With
probably going to
Yeah.
the solo side. And then if
Yep.
that happens, you now have 5 members, and you can
You're
go.
gonna need another 5.
You can literally go. This kind of makes sense. Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
Zilla Fatu.
Yep.
And maybe a Sami Zayn, like they're saying.
Yeah, like the honorary use,
Yeah.
can come back for one night only and do that. And I think that's cool. I don't know right now how these two would fit in. The bloodline's already starting to get pretty
Or
thick.
maybe The Rock's on the good side for
Right.
once.
Yeah, he's back to the people's champion, no longer the final boss, or he still can be. Either way, the bloodline story is still obviously going strong here with Jacob Fatu now being a part of this.
Not
the
to mention
Samoan
like the
werewolf.
17 kids they all have.
Oh my God, I know. Tell me about it. We will have bloodline storylines for generations to come.
We
and
really
that's
will.
not even a lie. It's not even
not.
long after we're all gone. Everyone listening to this is all gone.
They all become wrestlers too.
Yes, they do.
Even the females.
And they all like to get into trouble, apparently, because Jacob Fatu, they're saying the criminal record's going to prevent
When he
him
was
from working
18, he went
PLEs.
to jail, and that's when he saw the Usos killing it, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I need to do this."
Yeah, I'm bad at being a criminal, he said. So let me just try
very
this.
bad at it, he said.
Yeah, literally, those were his words. And but I'm seeing he's booked now for Money in the Bank. So that's in Canada. So he can get into Canada. Maybe he can't get outside of the U.S. in
He's
Canada.
booked?
He's booked. They have a match. There is, let's look it up right now, guys. Hang on. Give us 1 second. We'll be right with you. And our 1 second is up. It was Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus 3 members of the Bloodline. This is now a 6-man tag team match booked for Money in the Bank. So Jacob Fatu, we'll see if he shows up there and is part of the match. And if not, then we know obviously that travel outside of the U.S. was a problem. We don't know.
Last question I have for you specifically is when do you think that, obviously Swerve isn't going to be the champion forever.
No.
Who do you predict that he drops the title to eventually?
Okay. Like I said before, I think this weekend at Forbidden Door is Will Ospreay's first loss. There's gonna be some drama involved. He's gonna end up losing this match, so that immediately takes him out of the title picture. And who else? But you need another monster heel to go against Swerve. Why not have it be Maxwell Jacob Friedman?
MJF.
To take back the championship that was held for so long. The longest AEW title reign in existence is MJF. Why can't he? If they don't put him in a program with Ospreay, like I was saying earlier, I know I just want him in everything, but MJF and Swerve would draw money. And there's a great chance for MJF to get his championship back and turn it back to the Triple B, the Big Burberry belt, and continue this awesome run that he had before in AEW before losing to Samoa Joe at World's End.
I can't agree with you, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So I've said on this show many times that Ospreay's never going to lose.
You have said that, and you
so
have to keep
therefore I'd
backing
be eating
that.
my
Yes.
own words that,
Yes.
I think he wins the match.
Okay.
I think he becomes double champion.
Wow.
And I think it sets up maybe it's going to set up MJF versus Swerve for the title shot against Ospreay.
And honestly, if that happens too, I'm 150% cool with it because, either way, you get a banger out of it. I think that would honestly be something I would definitely want to see. And we will have to wait and see to find out. And I think that was your last question. Am I right?
That's it, man. That's the last question I got. We get that big old segment called
it's on this
day in history.
It's on this day in wrestling history, and that's coming up right now, brothers and sisters who are listening. Shout out to everyone who listens to us in the U.S. We do have people listening in Canada. Shout out to you. We do have people listening in the U.K. Shout out to you. But now it is on this day in wrestling history with Joe and Mike.
And on this day in wrestling history, we have your notable wrestling birthdays.
Let's hear them.
We're going to go with the first and foremost, Mark Jindrak.
Yes, Mark Jindrak, former
1977.
Former WCW talent, former WWE talent. Unfortunately, things did not pan out for him. But he was born on this day in wrestling history.
Yeah, and also Matt Stryker, 1974.
That is another one I can comment on. He played like this teacher gimmick, like he was a college professor or something like that. Had a few notable matches with a few talk-worthy opponents, but needless to say, it was a lackluster run from Matt Stryker, and he was moved down to commentary in WWE and then faded, off the face of the earth, it feels like.
Larry Sharp, 1951. Not sure.
I'm not familiar on that one.
Jackie Fargo, 1930.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure.
Maybe she was buddy with the fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, if she was alive right now, she would have been 94.
Wow. Yeah, and those are notable wrestling birthdays. On this day in wrestling history, though, this is a cool one. It is June 26, 2009. Kurt Angle and Sting fought to a no contest in the main event steel cage match at a TNA Impact taping in Orlando, Florida, and that happened on this day in wrestling history.
On this day in wrestling history, in 1976,
okay,
Antonio Inoki and Muhammad Ali took part in a boxer versus wrestler match in Tokyo, Japan.
Wow.
The match went to a 15-round draw after Inoki spent the entire match laying on his back, aiming kicks at Ali. The wrestler was barred from using throws, suplexes, or submissions during the match. So very weird, interesting match in 1976.
Right? Yeah. Can't say I was around for it. You know what I mean? Was not even born yet, guys. And on this day in wrestling history, the year is 1999. The final boss, The Rock, defeated the Big Boss Man, rest in peace, in a nightstick match at a live WWF at the time house show in Madison Square Garden. Also, the Big Show defeated Triple H, the Acolytes, and Triple H and the Acolytes, and retained the WWF Tag Team titles against Kane and X-Pac. Also on this night in wrestling history, Stone Cold Steve Austin retained the WWF Championship by disqualification over the Dead Man, The Undertaker, in the main event. And that happened on this day in wrestling history.
I got two in a row for you.
Let's get it.
2001, Albert, of all people, defeated
Prince
Kane.
Albert.
Defeated
Wow.
Kane for the Intercontinental Championship at a Smackdown taping in Madison Square Garden. Well, it says in, but it's really at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
I feel like people think of Madison Square Garden as like its own country. You know, it's such a prestigious place.
Yeah, and in 2003, 2003, WWE announced the release of Roddy Piper, making it so he could never win that WWE Championship.
Nah. That was the end for Rowdy in WWE, and we hope Roddy Piper continues to rest in peace. And one more from me, guys. On this day in wrestling history, the year is 2005. The Animal Batista retained the World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match in the main event of the WWE Vengeance pay-per-view in Las Vegas, Nevada. That happened on this day in wrestling history, brothers.
That is a great wrap-up to
Absolutely.
this day in wrestling history.
Yes, Batista, the Game, the Cerebral Assassin,
The only cerebral
who is now
assassin
known as
ever.
Papa H, who is literally blessing us with blessing after blessing in the wrestling world. But guys, we've taken enough of your time today. Once again, we appreciate all the new listeners, all the new followers. We have seen you guys, and we will just continue to pump out the content.
Pump out the volume,
you know,
pump up
and
the
pump
volume,
up the
pump up the
volume, but not
volume.
too loud so it hurts your ears. We want you to
Yeah.
keep listening to the show.
Yeah, we want to keep yeeting to you.
Yes, we want to keep yeeting to you 100%.
So we
do.
can yeet again.
Absolutely. And this is the Source Wrestling Podcast, which can be found on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Amazon Music Podcast. Everywhere you go, pretty much, the Source Wrestling Podcast is there. We are on iHeartRadio. You can go on iHeart, download the free app, and listen to the Source Wrestling Podcast in its entirety for free on all of these great platforms. Once again, this is the Source WWE, AEW, All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe
and Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Until we yeet again.
Let us yeet to you.
Let us talk to you. It's the Source Wrestling Podcast. We're out of here, guys. Have a great one.
Because Mike and Joe said so.
And that's the bottom line. Because Joe and Mike said so.